Hey everyone, Stacks here, and firmly in Team Gummy when it comes to hashtag Candygate. Team Gummy. So, guys, got my pull. It's actually a mix of 2 weeks worth of my pull list. I'm a little bit behind, so I'll just start going through these, talking about them, and go from there, guys. Venom, number 16. Tony Cates is back on the title after the War of the Realms hiatus, and he's coming back. He's coming back strong, walking right into the setup for Absolute Carnage. I enjoyed this this issue. Oddly enough, Rhino isn't in it. This guy that's on the cover is nowhere in this book. 0 places. I mean, whatever, right? Because it's Marvel and nothing matters. 2 issues of Spider-Man. Now, I got to talk about this for a minute. This Absolute Carnage, the secret variant stuff, man, it's wrong, and it's creating issues for LCSs. LCS owners are having to decide now what they do with these symbiote Carnage covers. It wouldn't be a big deal, in my opinion, if it was just the cover had a little stuff on it. But there's actually an extra page of content in the issues that have this. So LCS owners are having to decide now: do they give it to their people who have a pull list? Well, what if they don't have enough people ordering this to give everyone one? Do they give it to the people with the biggest pull list? What do they do? Some people are taking it and marking up the ones with extra pages and marking up the price on them and putting them on the shelves. I don't think if I were an LCS owner, I would do that. But I've talked a little bit about it with a couple of LCS owners, and it's messed up. It creates issues for them that aren't needed, and it's another dumb cash grab by no other than Marvel. Comics are a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion, when you don't look behind the scenes, because these predatory practices are just hurt. In the long term, they're hurting themselves, but they don't get that. So 24 and 25. Speaking of cash grabs, I'll get to 25 in a minute. 24, they reveal the name of this cat who's been a threat to Mary Jane for some time now. Spoilers if you don't want to know. It doesn't really matter. It's not a really good name in my opinion. Kindred, 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 Kindred. Whatever. That's him. He's here now. Speaking of cash grabs, Marvel 25, an $8 book. Come on, focus. You can do it. Anyway, $7.99 for 60 pages of Spider-Mania. All right, this wouldn't be as big of an issue if it was actually 60 pages of this title. However, it's 30-something pages of this title, and then a bunch of bolt-on trash. A bunch of, we put all the issues of Spider-Man into a computer, and it wrote it, and it was funny. Ha 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 ha. It wasn't worth the $8. It really kind of, just once again, Marvel reaching in your wallet and saying, "Hey, loyal customer," and ripping out some cash. It's just ridiculous. Got a couple issues of Immortal Hulk, number 19 and number 20. This book right now is so good. It's and Tom King right now is in the middle of killing Batman, so this book is outselling Batman right now. It is, and it didn't start out that way. It is this horror genre that is just keeps gaining steam. It has some deep tiebacks to old storylines from the 80s, and it's been really, really good. It got a little bit deep there around, I think it was issue like 8 through 11. It got kind of crazy, and it was just, but it's highly recommended. If you're not on this, go pick it up and you won't be disappointed. I mean, it has been fabulous. Now, speaking of fabulous to not so fabulous, Avengers 20 and 21. All right, so I'm hoping this is going to pick back up. Avengers with Jason Aaron started out really good. It started out with Loki and the Celestials, the final host, and the storyline was actually pretty good. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and since then, the Vampire Civil War was good around, I think that was around 13, 14, and it just, during the War of the Realms, I just bored out of my mind. I'm hoping it's going to pick up because they're about to do something with the Ghost Riders. Johnny Blaze something's going on. He's gathering the Ghost Riders. Cosmic Ghost Rider just dropped in to hell, and now you have something going on with these Ghost Riders. It'll be interesting. It's supposed to pick up in issue 22. It's the only reason I haven't dropped it from my pull list at this point. I'm hoping it's going to pick up, but hopeful. See what happens. And then War of the Realms, number 6. This was still on the shelf, however many weeks after it was put out. I went ahead and picked it up. Spoilers on this if you're reading it. Well, this is a pretty big issue. Thor managed to reforge Mjolnir. Which is a huge deal. Of course, they changed the pronouns. It's no longer he, but whatever. The bigger deal is at the end, after Thor saves the day for the War of the Realms, and Odin kneeling before Thor, and basically granting him the status of King Thor. So going forward, we got the King Thor run coming up. That's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. If Odin just goes to the back and retires, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what you do as a retired King of Valhalla or Asgard. Some True Believers comics leading up to Absolute Carnage. Picked up Venom and Carnage and another True Believers. So those are pretty cool. Anytime I can pick up a Spidey title or a Venom Carnage title for $1, it's a win. And picked up Thanos number 5 just because it was out there, and I thought, why not? Something I didn't mention earlier. I may have. Donny Cates back on Venom now, so I expect that big uptick. I picked this up just honestly. Half Stacks has been big into Ghostbusters recently, and he also picked up some Transformers from one of his cousins, and has been playing with them nonstop. So I picked this up. This is honestly a fun book. It wasn't. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's not too deep, but it's fun, and the art's good in it. Like I said, very Saturday morning cartoonish. It was fun. So I'm not gonna. I'll probably pick up number 2 and just go from there. See what happens. I hate that I missed out on the B cover because they had this really cool one with Slimer on it. But oh well. Then they had the Young Gun sketchbook. This was free handout with everything that came out. So I picked it. Had that in my bag. But really, that's it. I haven't even looked at what's coming out next week. I'm so far behind on everything. I hadn't put out a video, and I think this is coming up on 2 weeks just because work's been so crazy, and you guys really don't care about that. But it's funny because I have 2 ways to go home. I can go one way, which is pretty much traffic free, but it's mileage wise is a little longer, or I can go the other way, which is trafficy, and it takes longer usually, but the LCS is on that direction, and I live no traffic, 20 minutes from my LCS. Big time traffic, 45 minutes from my LCS. So it gets a little hairy sometimes getting over to that side of town, but hopefully that won't be an issue this week. I'll be able to get my books up, get them early, and we'll check. We'll see what happens. Guys, I am going to start doing some streaming with some video games. I finally got my stuff hooked up, got my capture card in. So I've got some comic book titles for back, Super Nintendo and N64 and stuff like that I'll probably be playing. And come on and check them out. I'll try to talk through some of the storylines that the game touches on, if it applies, and pretty much just have a good time sitting back, talking video games, talking with people in the chat, and hanging out. So guys, I appreciate it. If you haven't yet hit that sub button, I sincerely appreciate you helping me win at this game of YouTube. And leave a like. Comments below, of course, are welcomed as always. And #Team Gummies. See you guys.